Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. I have something very special to show you today, but first of all, a bit of a preamble. You may have noticed that I have flagged this video as containing paid promotion. That's not strictly true, but I'm just covering my back really, because the other day, the founder and creative director of DR Games, Toby Lancaster, contacted me. He has designed a new card game called Trade Nation, which is going up on Kickstarter around the 6th of October this year. And he wanted to know whether I would be prepared to review the game on my channel in preparation for that Kickstarter campaign. Unfortunately, as I don't personally back games on Kickstarter, I don't feel like I'm well positioned to showcase Kickstarter projects on my channel, so I always have to decline in these cases. So I contacted Toby and said, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do that. However, Toby is also the founder of Dark Realm Maps, a company that makes really, really beautiful old school style hand-drawn, hand-inked role-playing game maps. And I have to mention that I thought his work was absolutely fantastic and didn't really expect to hear anything more about it. But the next day, Toby got back in contact with me again and offered to send me one of his original signed and dated role-playing game maps. And that's what we have here. It arrived the other day and it's absolutely exquisite, and I am so chuffed to have this in my possession. This is something that I am going to get put under glass. I am going to get it framed. It is going to hang on the wall in my study next to my paint station, so that while I am painting, I can occasionally glance up and lose myself in the dark and dingy depths of this particular dungeon. I actually play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm still relatively new to it. I started last year with my group of friends, but of course, with 2020 being the way it is and with social distancing regulations, it's been quite some time since I've played Dungeons and Dragons, and I am keen to get back into that world. But what we have found as a group is that we do enjoy having painted miniatures and maps on the table, and it's something that helps us to visualize situations, helps us to figure out where everyone is in relation to each other, and we just find it makes everything flow a little bit nicer. And while I do use pre-printed boards, boards from different board games, and even scenery 3D elements sometimes, quite often we play across one of my hand-drawn maps on just a flip mat. Even if we're playing from Lost Mines of Fandalva or whatever, I just copy the maps out onto a flip mat. It's a springboard for the imagination, but the maps themselves do look quite sterile and bland because I have neither the time nor the artistic flair to make them look really nice, so they are always a bare bones representation of what we are exploring. And that's where a company like Dark Realm Maps come in, because you can see here on this map we're looking at here, there's a real sense of character and narrative to it. You can cast your eye around the map and you'll pick up on little details, little elements that create a real sense of story and make it feel lived in and just make it a joy to explore. I mean, what we have here is potentially some kind of bandit camp or maybe even a trapper camp. We can see there's a fire pit. We've got various different workstations with tools set up here. We have storerooms with barrels. We have up here a large room which looks like it contains pelts and perhaps even things like tusks from rare animals. Perhaps there's a few tabaxi pelts in there, who knows. And then right up at the top here we've got the big boss's digs. We've got a nice bed with a fur rug, and there's an iron-bound chest in the corner. And it's one of those maps that the more you look, the more a sense of story comes through, and you pick up little things like chairs next to doors that could be where a night guard sits on those long, lonely night shifts waiting for a hero to bumble into his lair. And it's just really nice, and it's really beautifully done, really meticulous artwork, precision pen work. It's going to look fantastic on my wall. And as I understand it, this map was available to Patreons. Dark Realm Maps has a Patreon where you can buy in and then you get access to lots of downloads. So you could download this map for yourself and blow it up to whatever size you wanted it to be. So I will include a link in the video description for that Patreon for anybody who would like to go over there, check it out, maybe chuck the company a couple of quid to get access to some of these cool maps. I'm also going to include a link to DR Games for anybody who might be interested in checking out Trade Nation when that goes to Kickstarter later on in October. But I think that's really all I have to say. I'm going to let this map talk for itself for a little bit. I'm going to sign off this video by just panning around the map so you can get a good look at all these lovely details. So I guess I'm done talking. Thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.